Hey, y'all, welcome back to Right at the Wire. Well, as part of our daily stakes presentation for Saratoga, we're going to take a look at the Coaching Club American Oaks, which is going to be run on Saturday for the 3-year-old fillies, and it's a pretty good group, so let's take a look. The Coaching Club American Oaks is a Grade 1 stakes for 3-year-old fillies run on dirt at a mile and an eighth, and it's the ninth race on the Saturday Saratoga card. Number one is South Lawn. I had a kind of a strange Kentucky Oaks. He did take a bad step early on in the race, and it seemed to interrupt his momentum. But it was also a really strange ride by Ray Gutierrez. He rushed him up, broke really sharp. He was up near the leaders, and then all of a sudden, mysteriously, he took him back. And I really didn't get that. He lost all position, and in fact, I think it just kind of cost him any chance to compete in the race. However, prior to that, he was on the upswing. She was on the upswing. And I think she's capable of better with the freshening and a little time to grow. I think that she's a logical fit here. A good place to be, I think, will be up near the pace. And I think that's this is South Lawn style, has good tactical speed, and I think that's a plus here. So I think South Lawn definitely want to use. Wet Paint has come back from the Oaks where she ran, I suppose, a little bit of a disappointing fourth. You know, prior to that race and doing the pace study for her, we had determined how one-paced Pretty Mischievous Wet Paint is. And it's really not a question of a big closing kick. It's a question of she just runs the same pace around the track and everybody else is decelerating. So that's where it comes from. So in the Oaks, it wasn't too much of a surprise that that she wasn't able to close on the field, and Gambling Girl was, because Gambling Girl runs the way a closer does: slow, early, fast, late. So it was kind of a middling effort. Now, his comeback since then, and at Ellis Park and the Monomoy Girl really didn't have anything in her favor. Speed favoring track, shorter distance, and still ran a pretty good second. So I would give her plus points for that. Just not sure that this is really going to set up terribly well for Wet Paint. I don't think there's going to be any pace to run to per se, and I think under is more likely. I don't know that she's going to be able to use that. Is going to have that big kick necessary to come from the rear to take this one down. So I think Wet Paint is under more likely. Sacred Wish is in a good spot for George Weaver. He's third off the layoff, is a really potent angle for him. This one is, I just think it's a cut below, really. That's the issue more than anything else. You do see that she, really, if she was in the same caliber as the others in here, that option 50, she would have beat Sunset Louise, and she wasn't able to do it. Sunset Louise is a nice horse, not taking anything away from her. But if you're going to be a Grade 1 stakes caliber horse, you need to win races like that. The Black Eyed Susan, I think, also demonstrated that this horse probably isn't good enough to run with these. Really, that's the issue more than anything else. We'll be up near the pace, but I don't think it's going to be there late, so I would pass. Gambling Girl, it's no secret what this one wants to do. Is going to come from the clouds. Again, much the same as Wet Paint. Isn't really going to have a lot of pace to run to, but there's a couple of things working in her favor. Number one, she has a win over the track already, which is a positive, and does have a big kick, so would likely be flying late, and if for some reason they go a little quick on the front end, then Gambling Girl should be able to clean up in that regard. So I kind of like Gambling Girl's chances a little bit better. Under, I think, is more likely. But because, and you know, mainly that's because that's what this one does. Just has a little too much to do late. But if you do look at her running line, she is getting closer to a win in the last three. So I think under is more likely, but I could see definitely using this one on top. Hoosier Philly has been kind of a roller coaster year. You know, it's had the great 2-year-old campaign and then kind of disappointed for a couple of starts. To start the 3-year-old year, obviously there was a breathing issue, it turns out, and some surgery corrected that, and she's been running better since then. However, is she the world beater that she was made out to be? I don't think so. I think last time at Ellis Park in the Monomoy Girl, she had everything in her favor. She had a speed favoring track, a smaller track. She was able to get to the lead, control the pace, and wire the field. It was a small field like here, and so her form is good right now. I'm really not that impressed with this horse. I just don't see this one wiring this field with ease. Um, I think it was a little too easy for her last time. Now you do have some speed right next to her in this one that's going to give her a bit of a challenge. If she's good enough, she can wire the field. She is by Into Mischief, the leading sire at Saratoga, and she hasn't been on the track yet, but let's just assume that she's going to like it. So maybe that upgrades her a little bit. But I think she's certainly going to be in the mix, but I think under is more likely. She's Looking Lucky is kind of interesting to me. She is definitely on the upswing. You could see since her layoff in April, she put together a really nice race last time. It seems like that she's on the upward trajectory. She nearly duplicated her career high buyer that she got when she broke her maiden. She's going to be up near the pace and stalking, and if you look at her numbers, they match up just as well with Hoosier Philly. So there's nothing to say that this one either can't get the lead or be right off of her tail and then make a move when the time is right. She can rate a little bit. And you get Kendrick Carmouche. She's been a pretty aggressive rider in Saratoga so far. So I don't think there's any doubt what this one's going to do. It's either going to try to get to the lead or rate just behind Hoosier Philly. And then it's a question of whether she's good enough. She's got a puncher's chance for sure. I like others a little bit more, but I don't think this one is out of it by any means. So here's what our top 5 looks like for the Coaching Club American Oaks. Number 1, we're going to use South Lawn on top. I think that she will rebound from the Kentucky Oaks, where she had kind of a dubious ride and freshened up. I think she fits really well here. She should be sitting just off the leaders, has good tactical speed, and should get the jump on the late runners. Number 2 is Gambling Girl. She's going to unfurl that big closing kick, has a positive record over at Saratoga, and I think she'll do what she normally does. She'll just be a little short, but you never know. She has been getting closer with every start, so it is possible that she could go on top, but I like her underneath a little better. Number 3 is She's Looking Lucky. I think she's coming into this race in really good form, and yes, it's a step up in class, but she is in really good form, and I think she has the right scenario to do some damage here. She should be on the lead or rating just behind Hoosier Philly, and I think she'll have more in the tank in the stretch. And then it's just a question of whether she's good enough. So she does have a puncher's chance, but underneath, probably more likely. Number 4 is Wet Paint. The one-paced running style, I don't know that will give him enough or her enough kick in the stretch to take this one down. Plus the fact you don't have a lot of pace to run to. So I think under is more likely for her. And then number 5, Hoosier Philly. I just don't think she has a scenario that's favorable to her here. And I think She's Looking Lucky is probably going to have a little more in the tank, which would compromise her chances even further. So you can say that she is by Into Mischief, and maybe that's going to help her a little bit at Saratoga. But I just have a feeling she'll be backing up late. So that's the top 5 for the Coaching Club American Oaks. And, of course, if you like the content that you've seen here, you can go on over to our website, rightatthewire.com, where there's some more opportunities for you. And full card analysis for Saratoga, amongst other things, 2-year-old analysis. So there's a lot of good opportunities. So come on over there and take a look at it. I hope our analysis helps you with your wagering, of course, and I wish you the best of luck. And if you do like what you see here, of course, please like and subscribe. And we do thank you all for coming by, particularly you new folks. Welcome, and thanks for being part of the community. We appreciate it. And we'll continue on with our daily stakes postings throughout the meet at Saratoga. And we'll have something for the Haskell, which is run this weekend. That'll be coming up very shortly, so be on the lookout for that as well. So once again, thanks for coming by, and I'll be talking to you in the very near future. And until then, be well.